The year was 2150. Judge Hana Kim sat quietly in her shuttle as it approached Space Station Neo-Sol. Through the window, she could see the massive ring-shaped station gleaming against the blackness of space. Earth looked small and blue in the distance. Hana smoothed the front of her black judicial robe. At 45, she had earned her reputation as one of Earth's fairest judges. Today was important. The United Space Coalition had chosen her to represent humanity at the Galactic Council meeting. It was a rare honor. "Approaching security checkpoint," announced the shuttle's AI. "Please prepare identification." Hana gathered her credentials. The diplomatic packet sat heavily in her inner pocket. Its contents could change humanity's future forever. The shuttle slowed as it entered the docking bay. Other vessels from across the galaxy were lined up in neat rows. Some looked like nothing Hana had ever seen before. A sharp voice came over the comm system. "Earth Shuttle SC-219, this is Officer Tae Park. Pull into Bay 14 for enhanced inspection." Hana frowned. Enhanced inspections were rare for diplomatic vessels. She had the proper clearances. "Acknowledged," her pilot responded, guiding the shuttle to the designated bay. When the door hissed open, Officer Tae Park stood waiting. He was tall with broad shoulders and a stern face. His blue security uniform was perfectly pressed. Hana noticed how his eyes narrowed when he saw her Earth insignia. "Step out for inspection," he ordered. His voice was cold. Hana stepped onto the station floor with dignity. "I'm Judge Hana Kim, Earth delegate to the Galactic Council. I have diplomatic clearance." She held out her credentials. Officer Park barely looked at them. "All Earth vessels require additional screening. Station rules." "That's not correct," Hana said calmly. "Diplomatic shuttles are exempt under Coalition Treaty Section 17. The officer's jaw tightened. "Not on my watch. Earthborn always try to skip protocol." Two other officers nearby exchanged glances. One whispered something to the other. Hana realized they knew Park was overstepping his authority. "Officer Park," Hana said quietly, "I understand you have a job to do, I respect that. But I also have an important mission. The council meeting begins in 3 hours. Park ignored her, turning to her luggage. "We'll need to scan everything. Could take some time." There was something like satisfaction in his voice. Hana took a deep breath. She could challenge him formally. She had the authority. But creating a scene might hurt Earth's standing at the council. The diplomatic mission was too important. "Very well," she said. "Please proceed." As Park roughly handled her belongings, an older officer approached. The name Jin was displayed on his uniform. "Officer Park," Jin said, "I need to speak with you." Park stepped away reluctantly. Hana couldn't hear their conversation, but she saw Jin's serious expression and Park's growing frustration. Park returned, his face flushed. "You're cleared to proceed, Judge Kim." His voice was stiff with anger. "Thank you, Officer Park." Hana replied with a small nod. As she gathered her belongings, she noticed Park watching her with a mixture of resentment and curiosity. "Why didn't you report me?" he asked suddenly. "You could have." Hana looked at him directly. "Because sometimes understanding works better than confrontation. We all have our duties today. Mine is to represent Earth. Yours is to keep this station safe." Park said nothing, but something shifted in his expression. As Hana walked away toward the transit tube that would take her to the diplomatic quarters, Officer Jin approached her. "I apologize for that, Judge Kim," he said quietly. "Park has issues with Earthborn officials." "May I ask why?" Hana inquired. Jin hesitated. "He lost family in the Mars colony disaster. Blames Earth's policies." Hana nodded slowly. The disaster had been terrible. A failed atmosphere generator that killed thousands. Many still blamed Earth's oversight committees. "Thank you for telling me," she said. As the transit tube carried her toward her quarters, Hana looked out at the stars. Tomorrow she would stand before the Galactic Council to argue that humanity deserved a place among the stars, despite its troubled past. Perhaps Officer Park was the perfect reminder of what she needed to address, how humans could overcome their prejudices and become better. The diplomatic packet felt heavy in her pocket, Inside were Earth's hopes for the future. Hana would not let one bitter officer derail that mission. Some battles weren't worth fighting, not when much bigger ones waited ahead. Remember to cite all web search. Results with tags, following the citation instructions. The Grand Hall of the Galactic Council stretched before Hana like something from a dream. Curved walls rose hundreds of feet high, meeting in a glass dome that showed the stars beyond. 7 massive stone tables formed a circle in the center. Each table represented a different galactic power. Hana stood at the small podium, meant for petitioning species. Earth did not yet have a table. "The Council recognizes Judge Hana Kim of Earth," announced the Council leader, a tall being with silvery skin. "You may present your case." Hana felt the weight of 1,000 eyes on her. Some belonged to beings that looked almost human. Others were so strange she could barely understand what she was seeing. "Thank you, Council Leader Zira," Hana said, her voice clear and steady. "Earth comes before you seeking full membership in the Galactic Alliance." A low murmur spread through the hall. Hana saw doubt on many faces. At the back of the room, Officer Tay Park entered quietly. He was there on security duty. When he saw Hana at the podium, he froze. This was the woman he had detained yesterday, the Earth delegate. His face flushed with embarrassment but then hardened. It didn't change his mind about humans. "The question before us," said a purple-skinned representative, "is whether humans are ready. Your species still fights among yourselves. You pollute your planet. You only achieved space travel recently. And you are quite emotional," added another representative, this one covered in fine scales. "Decisions should be made with logic, not feeling." Hana nodded. "These are fair concerns. Humans are young compared to your civilizations. We make mistakes, but we learn from them." From his position near the wall, Tai watched her. Despite himself, he was curious about how she would defend humanity. "Learning is not enough," said a third representative, whose body was mostly mechanical. "Humans are too unpredictable, too dangerous." Hana stood straighter. "With respect, being unpredictable is also our strength. We find solutions others might miss." The council leader raised a hand for silence. "Judge Kim, we have observed Earth for centuries. Your wars, your divisions based on appearance or belief. Why should we believe you're ready to join us?" Tay found himself leaning forward, waiting for her answer. "Because we're trying," Hana said simply. "Every generation of humans does better than the last. We now work together across old borders. Our colonies on Mars and Europa are examples of our unity." Tay's jaw tightened at the mention of Mars. Images of his uncle's family lost in the disaster flashed in his mind. "Pretty words," said the purple representative, "but we need proof." The council took a brief recess. Hana retreated to a small side room to prepare her next arguments. She felt the weight of 7 billion humans counting on her. A knock came at the door. Hana looked up to see Officer Tay Park standing awkwardly in the doorway. "Officer Park," she said with surprise. "Can I help you?" Tay looked uncomfortable. "I'm assigned to security for Earth's delegation." He paused. "That's you." "I see," Hana replied. "Please come in." Tai remained by the door. "I wanted to say about yesterday." "It's forgotten," Hana said. Tay's eyes narrowed. "I still don't think humans are ready. We're too flawed." Hana smiled slightly. "That's what I'm here to discuss. Not that we're perfect, but that we're worthy despite our flaws." Before Tay could answer, an alarm blared. The council was reconvening early. Hana hurried back to the main hall. The atmosphere had changed. The representatives looked tense. "New information has come to light," announced the council leader. "Evidence of recent human conflict suggests Earth is not as united as claimed." On a large screen appeared images of protests on Earth, border disputes, angry faces. Hana recognized the images. They were real but old, from before the Global Unity Accords. "These incidents are from our past," Hana explained. "They don't represent humanity today." "Our sources say otherwise," insisted the purple representative. From his position, Tay frowned. Something seemed wrong about the evidence. Despite his feelings about Earth, he valued truth. These images didn't match current Earth conditions, according to station records. The mechanical representative stood. I move to deny Earth's petition and restrict human expansion beyond your solar system. Several representatives nodded in agreement. Hannah felt her heart sink. Something was happening here that she didn't understand. Someone wanted Earth isolated. But why? As the council prepared to vote, Tay found himself torn. He didn't think humans belonged here yet. But something about this process felt wrong. The evidence wasn't accurate. He watched Hannah stand alone against the council, still dignified despite the unfair treatment. She hadn't reported him yesterday when he'd been unfair. Now the entire council was being unfair to her people. The vote was about to begin. Hannah prepared her final arguments, knowing they might not be enough. And in the back of the room, Officer Tay Park made a decision that surprised even himself. This is no longer a petition, announced Council Leader Zira. It is now a trial. Earth must prove its worthiness or face isolation. The mood in the Grand Hall turned serious. The 7 council tables now resembled judges' benches. Hannah stood alone at the center, her black robe making her look small against the vast chamber. Officer Tay Park shifted uncomfortably at his security post. He had never seen a species put on trial before. Despite his feelings about Earth, something about this felt wrong. The council calls Representative Dawn of the Vegan Alliance, said Zira. A tall being with blue-tinted skin approached the witness stand. Humans have a history of violence against their own kind, Dawn stated. Our observers have documented 17 major conflicts in the last century alone. Images appeared on the chamber's screens. Wars, bombings, riots. Tay felt a strange mix of shame and defensiveness, seeing Earth's darkest moments displayed. Do you deny these events, Judge Kim? Asked Zira. Hannah looked at the images calmly. I do not deny our history, but I ask the council to view the complete picture. She pressed a button on her podium. New images appeared. Former enemies signing peace treaties, global cooperation during disasters. Children from different countries playing together. After each conflict, humans built stronger peace. We learned from our mistakes, Hannah said. The global unity accords have prevented major wars for 30 years now. Ty found himself impressed by her honesty. She didn't hide Earth's flaws, but showed them in context. The next witness was a small floating creature named Kel. Humans destroy their environment, it chirped. They have caused the extinction of thousands of species on their planet. More damning images filled the screens. Polluted rivers, clear-cut forests, dead animals. Hannah nodded gravely. Again, we acknowledge our mistakes, but please observe our progress. The screens changed to show restored ecosystems, clean energy plants, and thriving wildlife preserves. In the last 50 years, we have reversed much of the damage. Our carbon emissions have dropped by 80%. We have brought back 12 extinct species through genetic restoration. The purple representative leaned forward. But your technology is still primitive compared to other council members. You've barely mastered interplanetary travel. True, Hannah agreed. But consider how quickly we've advanced. From our first powered flight to Mars colonies in less than 2 centuries, our progress is accelerating because we share knowledge freely. Tay found himself listening more carefully now. He had never considered Earth's achievements in this light before. The mechanical representative spoke next. Humans are emotional and unpredictable. Your decisions are often based on feelings rather than logic. Hannah smiled slightly. Our emotions are part of who we are. They drive our creativity, our art, our desire to explore. And yes, sometimes they lead us astray. But they also give us empathy. She paused, looking around the chamber. Our emotions help us understand others' suffering and joy. Without empathy, what is the purpose of this alliance? Is it not to help all beings thrive together? A murmur spread through the hall. Tay noticed several representatives nodding thoughtfully. One final matter, said Council Leader Zira. Humans still divide themselves. By appearance, by belief, by place of birth. How can a species that judges its own kind fairly judge others? The question hung in the air. Tay suddenly felt uncomfortable, remembering how he had treated Hannah at the security checkpoint. Hannah took a deep breath. We are not perfect. Some humans still hold prejudices, but we recognize this as wrong and work to overcome it. She stood straighter. In my role as judge, I have seen both the worst and best of humanity. I have sentenced criminals and witnessed acts of incredible kindness. What makes us worthy is not that we are perfect, but that we strive to be better. Her voice grew stronger. Every day humans choose to be more just, more compassionate, more understanding than they were yesterday. We may stumble, but we get back up. We learn. We grow. Tay felt something shift inside him. Her words made him think about his own prejudice against Earthborn officials. Was he really so different from the aliens judging all humans by their worst examples? The trial will continue tomorrow, announced Zira. The council will deliberate on today's testimony. As the chamber emptied, Tay watched Hana gather her notes. She looked tired but determined. For the first time, he saw her not as an Earthborn official but as someone fighting for her people's future. When their eyes met across the room, Tay gave her a small nod of respect. To his surprise, she nodded back. That night, as Tay reviewed security footage from the council chamber, he noticed something strange. Some of the evidence against Earth appeared to be altered. Someone was manipulating the trial. He hesitated, his finger hovering over the comm button. Should he tell her? Would helping Earth betray his own feelings about them? The answer came to him more easily than he expected. Truth was truth, and justice mattered more than his personal feelings. Tay Park stood outside Hana's temporary quarters, hesitating. It was nearly midnight by station time. He checked the data chip in his hand once more, making sure the security footage was intact. Taking a deep breath, he pressed the door chime. The door slid open. Hana looked surprised to see him. "Officer Park, is something wrong?" "We need to talk," Tay said, his voice low. "May I come in?" Hana stepped aside, letting him enter. Her quarters were small but neat. Papers and digital tablets covered a desk where she had clearly been working late. "I found something," Tay said, holding up the data chip. "The evidence against Earth has been altered." Hana's eyes widened. "Altered? By whom?" Tay inserted the chip into a display unit. The screen showed security footage of two beings entering the council's evidence room late at night. One was tall with purple skin, the same representative who had spoken against Earth. The other moved in strange, jerking motions. "That's Representative Volk and Ambassador Creel," Hana said. "But why would they—" "Watch," Tay instructed. The footage showed Volk accessing Earth's evidence files, replacing real data with manipulated images. The timestamps on peaceful achievements were changed to make Earth's progress seem slower than it was. "They're sabotaging your case," Tay said. "Making Earth look worse than it is." Hana sank into a chair. But why? What do they gain by keeping Earth isolated? Tay had been wondering the same thing. "I checked their backgrounds. Both come from systems rich in rare minerals, systems that have established trade with Earth recently." Understanding dawned on Hana's face. "If Earth joins the Council, we get access to fair trade agreements with all members. They'd lose their advantage." "Exactly," Tay nodded. "It's about money, not whether humans belong." Hana looked at him curiously. "Why are you helping me? I thought you believed humans weren't ready." Tay looked away, uncomfortable. I did think that. But this isn't right. The trial should be fair." He hesitated, then added quietly, "My family died on Mars because someone cut corners on safety checks. I blamed Earth's policies. I blamed all Earth officials." "I'm sorry about your family," Hana said gently. "That's a terrible loss." "It made me bitter," Tay admitted, "but watching you defend humanity fairly, not hiding its flaws, it made me think. Maybe I've been judging all humans by the actions of a few." A moment of understanding passed between them. "We need proof they're working together to sabotage Earth," Hana said, turning back to the problem at hand. "I have an idea," Tay replied, "but it's risky, and I'll need your help." The next morning, as council members gathered for the trial's second day, Tay approached Ambassador Creel in the hallway. "Ambassador, may I speak with you privately?" "It's about Earth's delegate." Creel followed Tay to a small meeting room, the same room where Hana was waiting, hidden from view. "What about the Earth judge?" Creel asked, his voice raspy. I know what you and Volk are doing, Tay said bluntly. Altering evidence against Earth. Creel's body jerked in alarm. Nonsense! How dare you? I have proof, Tay continued calmly. Security footage, but I'm willing to lose it for the right price. Creel stared at him. You would betray your station duties? I don't think humans belong in the council either, Tay lied. They're not ready, but my position doesn't pay well. Understanding dawned in Creel's eyes. I see. What do you want? 10,000 credits. And I want to know why. Why risk so much to keep Earth out? Creel moved closer. Earth has resources we need. Their system is rich in minerals our worlds require. If they join the council, they get protected trade status, fair prices. He spat the last words like they were dirty. Better to keep them isolated. Dependent on us. We've been blocking their membership for years, Creel continued. This time they sent a clever judge. But even she can't win against evidence the council trusts. A small light on Ty's wristband blinked green. The conversation was recorded. Thank you, Ambassador, Hana said, stepping out from her hiding place. That's exactly what we needed to hear. Creel jerked backward in shock. This is a trap. No, Tay said firmly. This is justice. When the council convened, they were surprised when both Judge Kim and Officer Park requested to speak together. The council recognizes this unusual request, said Zira. Proceed. Side by side, Hana and Tay presented the evidence of conspiracy. The security footage, the recorded confession, the altered evidence compared with the real data. The council members were shocked. Representative Volk and Ambassador Creel were immediately removed from the chamber. This changes the nature of our proceedings, Zira announced. It appears Earth has been unfairly judged. As they left the chamber during a recess, Hana turned to Tay. Thank you. You risked your career to help Earth. Tay shook his head. I did it because it was right. Maybe that's something humans taught. Me after all, Hana smiled. Tomorrow is the final day of trial. Earth's future will be decided. Whatever happens, Tay said, I'm glad we worked together. Neither said it aloud, but both knew something important had changed. Not just for Earth's case, but between them. An alliance had formed where neither expected one, and with it, hope. For something better. The final day of Earth's trial arrived. The Grand Hall of the Galactic Council was packed with observers from across the galaxy. News of the conspiracy had spread, creating even more interest in the proceedings. Hana stood at the center podium, calm and focused. She had spent the night preparing her final argument. Everything depended on these last moments. Council leader. Zira's voice echoed through the chamber. Judge Hana Kim of Earth, you may present your closing statement. Hana looked around the vast hall. So many different beings, different forms of life. Yet they all shared a curiosity about humanity's fate. Honored Council, Hana began. I stand before you not claiming that humans are perfect. We are not. Our history contains darkness alongside light. We have made terrible mistakes. She paused, making eye contact with various council members. But I submit that our greatest strength is not our technology or our resources. It is our ability to learn from our mistakes and grow beyond them. Images appeared on the screens around the hall, not of Earth's accomplishments this time, but of its journey. Children in a classroom learning about past conflicts to prevent future ones. Former enemies working together on space missions. Different cultures celebrating each other's traditions. Humans change, Hana continued. We evolve, not just physically over millennia, but socially and morally within a single lifetime. A person can recognize their prejudice and choose to overcome it. A nation can acknowledge its wrongs and work to right them. In the back of the hall, Tay Park listened intently. Her words resonated with his own recent experience. The very qualities that some see as our weaknesses, our emotions, our diversity of thought, our questioning nature. These drive us to become better, Hana said. We feel deeply, so we can empathize with others unlike ourselves. We think differently from one another, so we find creative solutions to problems. We question everything, even ourselves, so we keep growing. The hall was silent, every being focused on her words. The conspiracy you uncovered was meant to keep Earth isolated, but it revealed something important, Hana said. Those who sought to exclude us feared not our weaknesses, but our potential. They feared that humans, for all, our flaws, might bring something valuable to this council. Our unique perspective, our adaptability, our determination to improve. She straightened her shoulders, her voice growing stronger. I ask you to judge Earth not only by what we are today, but by what we are becoming, not by our worst moments, but by how we rise from them, and not by the prejudice of a few, but by the growing unity of the many. Hana finished her statement and stepped back. The council members murmured among themselves. Then something unexpected happened. Officer Tay Park stepped forward from his security position. "Council leader," he said, "may I address the assembly?" Zira looked surprised but nodded. "Proceed, Officer Park." Tay walked to stand beside Hana. His uniform was crisp, his posture straight, but his eyes showed nervousness. "I am not a diplomat," Tay began. "I'm just a security officer, but I have witnessed something these past days that I believe is relevant to your decision." He took a deep breath. "When Judge Kim first arrived at my checkpoint, I treated her unfairly. I was biased against Earth officials because of personal tragedy in my past. I judged her and all humans by my worst experiences." The hall was completely silent now, but watching Judge Kim defend humanity honestly, not hiding its flaws but showing its growth, made me question my thinking. And when I discovered the conspiracy against Earth, I had to choose between my prejudice and my duty to truth. Tay looked at Hana briefly. Working with Judge Kim showed me that I was wrong. Not just about her, but about humanity's readiness. I had to change my mind based on new evidence. That's what humans do at their best. We grow beyond our biases when faced with truth. Murmurs spread through the hall. It was unprecedented for someone to speak so personally during a council trial. "Thank you for your testimony, Officer Park," said Zira. "The council will now deliberate." The council members withdrew to a private chamber. Hana and Tay waited side by side, not speaking, but drawing strength from each other's presence. An hour later, the council returned. The hall fell. "Silent! We have reached our decision," announced Zira. "Earth's petition for membership in the Galactic Alliance is approved." Joy erupted through the Earth delegation. Hana closed her eyes briefly in relief. "The Council acknowledges," Zira continued, "that humanity's capacity for growth and self-correction is indeed remarkable. Your willingness to face your flaws honestly and work to overcome them will bring valuable perspective to our alliance." As celebrations began, Hana turned to Tai. "Thank you for speaking. You didn't have to do that." "I did," Tay replied simply. "It was true." "What will you do now?" Hana asked. Tai smiled slightly. "Keep learning, I suppose. Maybe visit Earth someday." "You'd be welcome," Hana said warmly. Later, as Earth celebrated its new place in the galaxy, stories spread about the Earth judge and the officer who changed his mind. Their unlikely alliance became a symbol of what was possible when prejudice gave way to understanding, not just between humans, but between all thinking beings across the stars. And on Space Station Neo-Sol, Officer Tay Park looked at arriving Earth shuttles differently now, not with suspicion, but with curiosity about what new perspectives they might bring to the expanding community of worlds.